Hello everybody. My name is GhostSenpai, and this is one of the few weird situations of my speedrunning live where I'm gonna be having a commentator during one of my marathon runs. So in this case, I'm not alone. With me is Niglin. Sorry how I pronounce your name.
Yeah, Nyland's correct.
Niling, okay. I got it on the first attempt. This is the kind of thing that happens when you try to speak on a language which is not your main one, but I'm here to try to do my best. And this is gonna be Seiya the Hates. The reason mainly why I have a commentator is because I don't know a lot of things about the show. I just played the games back in the day. But that's gonna be interesting, so I'm gonna be telling later. But we're only having a good amount of time to talk about that. So basically, here on the run, which is gonna be the any person route, what I'm gonna be doing is that I'm gonna be playing through the main Hades arc in the game. And if you're wondering, well, which is the main one, every time that you replay the game, you get different options in order to pick which route you want to take into the history. But in this case, I'm just gonna go for the main one, which is just pressing the circle button. That doesn't add any of the canons storyline that get unlocked every time you play the game. There are 4 different lines, but we're gonna be going through the main one. So I'm gonna assume that we are already started with the timer and everything.
Pretty ready to go. Timer-wise, I am also pretty ready. Just let me know, give me a countdown, and I'll hit the button.
I can make the countdown, don't worry. Or do you want to make it?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. So let's start on 3, 2, 1, go. And also, I'm using a special shirt that is not related to Seiya, but it's related to one of my favorite animes, which is Kobayashi-san Chino Make Dragon. This is a Mexican design from Kana that says Dragoncitas, which is based on a Mexican candy called Dragoncitos, which is something like small dragons. But it has a typo because Dragoncitos or Dragoncitas is what it's wrote with the C letter, not with the Z. I don't know if my pronunciation was correctly for that, but let's go back to the topic of the game, Seiya the Hates. This is a fighting game where, well, we get told the history of the manga, focus on the sanctuary captor, and well, that's gonna be something that Neil is gonna be doing for you, and I'm gonna be trying to explain some of the stuff that we're gonna be doing. The game is a bit repetitive in talking about the game mechanics for the run, but there are gonna be some stuff that are gonna be working slightly different. Here, first we're only having the Seiya versus Deathmask fight, and the thing that I'm gonna be doing here is that I'm gonna be trying to do middle plus lower attacks or high to low attacks in a combo way, and also you can move before the match begins. So the reason why I'm gonna be chaining this kind of attacks is just to avoid what I have got here. Unfortunately, this was a bad start, because this is what I want to do, middle plus low hits, because with this I can try to keep any character without any kind of movement. And once they are low on energy, I'm gonna be using these big bang attacks. In this case, I don't know which is the name in English on this, because I have been playing this in Spanish almost all my life.
His signature attack is 3 things. It's 3 things. Pegasus.
Yeah, this Pegasus attacks. And the reason why I'm gonna be using this, and just I'm gonna be doing this in all 17 fights we're gonna be having on the run. The reason behind this is mostly because in this game, when any character gets low on energy, what is going to happen is that they're going to be having an opportunity to respawn. But if I attack with, if I lower all their energy, if I lower all their energy with the big bang attacks, what is going to happen? Oh my god, this is bad. If I lower their attack with all their health with the big bang attacks, they are not going to be able to respawn. So that's going to be the quickest way to defeat all the enemies. So now we're gonna be playing a smooth, and now we're gonna be having a fight against Deathmask and Aphrodite. Now, Niglin can talk a bit about the plot.
Yeah, a common theme in the Seiya series, Saint Seiya, is that characters get up because their willpower, their Cosmo burns hotter as they're getting weaker. So in this game, if you drop their HP to 0 and they're not killed with a Big Bang, they will be able to get back up. It plays a long cut. have play. It's long enough that it's worth it to just big bang them because they can just get up like 3 or 4 times. Really. So, yeah. In terms of what's happening in the story, basically the Athena Sanctuary gets attacked by specters, which are the saint equivalent for Hades. So Hades resurrects the gold saints from the first arc of Saint Seiya, and has them attack Athena Sanctuary basically, and you get her blood, I think, to help resurrect them. So that's kind of what's going on. Mu is the guardian of the first temple of the sanctuary, so that's the character we're playing as. And Mu is going to... You play Mu a lot in this arc, because you need to defend the sanctuary against all of the different effects. There's also 2 versions of this game, correct? There's like a European version that's almost like a beta, from what I understand.
Yeah, for some reason when you try to look for the game on the internet, talking about the game ISO, you will find only the beta, but the game was officially released in Europe. And there's something interesting about that, because I'm from Mexico, which means that I'm from America territory. And unfortunately, back in the day when this game was released, video game companies considered as United States and Canada as American territory, which was really bad because Saint Seiya, or Knights of the Zodiac, as it was called in the United States, it was not popular there because the series was ultra censored and hyper localized. But in Latin America, it was a different story. Because this franchise was released and broadcast as it was, with no censorship or nor any other localized changes. So this saga is quite popular in Latin America, but unfortunately due to that, the games were never released here. But let's say that Latin American people have a special power to get some kind of stuff, even when it's not supposed that they will have access to. So that's one reason why I played this game back in the day, but we're not here to talk about that, honestly.
I mean, the game did well. Saint Seiya as a franchise did well enough in Latin America.
Check your mic, because sometimes you get off. And sometimes we cannot listen to you properly. So well, now we're gonna be playing as Mu. We're gonna be facing Shura. And once Nightling fixes his mic, it's gonna be back to talk.
Is my mic still messed up, or is it good?
No, now it's good.
Okay, sorry, what I was saying is that Latin America still sold well enough that the Japanese developers did eventually add Latin American dubs into games like Brave Soldier, right?
Yeah, but it was a different story, because usually games first come to the United States and then we got the ESRB rating. But with Saint Seiya games, it was due to Brazil that we got the games, and I'm not having here a good luck trying to use these attacks. I'm gonna be using a different big one attack. That is gonna be slower. But when I get mad trying to use a single big one attack a lot of times and I fail, I prefer to go to another one. It doesn't matter that it's taking more time for me, but I'm just pissed off that it's not working sometimes.
Yeah, it's mostly random if in a lot of fighting games if AI blocks or not, so it's quite tricky to sometimes catch them with that.
Yeah, and getting back to the... Okay, go ahead.
No, it's fine. You go ahead.
I still failing into saving my game. It's not supposed that I want to save it. I'm losing time here. I was gonna keep talking about localization things, but we have time for that later. So if you were gonna say something about the plot, this is something a good moment for it.
Yeah. So these characters were sort of the major villains. They're all the gold saints that died in the first arc. So Shura and Camus and later on Sagas and Deathmask are all like moderately evil in the original arc, so they have them all fight Mu here to try to break through. In the series, I believe Mu also uses an Aurora Wall to block, so they can't just like walk past the Ares Temple. That's why they're all fighting.
We're here on the fight against Camus. Usually this guy doesn't used to give me problems, but look like I'm getting the famous marathon log where everything is going bad. Okay, that's
You know,
gonna...
there are balance changes between the European and Japanese version that like make a lot of these combos not work or not?
Well, we talk about that. The version I played back in the day was the European version with an NTSC patch, so there were a lot of weird things. I mean, the European version goes at 50 hertz, while Japanese go at 60, which is the same speed as America. But there was a difference here because the fights and everything were fine. But the animations when the big bang attacks all the time were designed. So when I played this game again on the Japanese release, it was weird for me to see everything signed because I was used to something different. But yeah, about localization, well, now we're gonna be fighting Saga, still fighting as Moon. So with the localization things, it was thanks to Brazil that we got official releases in Latin America, but that began with PS3 games with both Sanctuary Battle and Brave Soldiers, and also Soldier Souls. That was released for both PS3 and PS4, and I have all of those 3 games. But
yeah, they're all fantastic. They're all made in basically the same engine, just updated.
Yeah. And also something I need to mention is that the last games about talking about Brave Soldiers and Soldier Soul, that was one of the last works that Jesus Barrero, who is the voice actor for Seiya in Latin America, made before he passed away due to cancer. It was lung cancer, so he definitely made an amazing job and put a lot of effort to one of his last jobs because one of his most beloved characters in Latin America definitely was Seiya. And well, what are you watching here every time that I'm trying to perform this big bang attack is that there's a chance that you can defend yourself about these attacks. Up to this date, I don't know nobody talking about human people who has been able to stop properly this attack because you need to have a really quick reaction to see which is the button you need to press in order to enter into the defense mode because that can change all the time. And well, in this case, since I'm making the attack and the AI is trying to stop my attack, what I need to do is that I need to press all buttons randomly. In this case, cross, circle, square, and triangle. But in that case, I use a special strat, and that special strat involves my mouse because I'm mashing all the buttons with my mouse because I found that that's more easier to do because sometimes AI likes to cheat or be super players in this kind of situations. And now I don't remember exactly on which part we're going to be moving, but here what I'm going to be doing is that, well, we know that Saga was the Gemini's Knight, and well, now we're going to be seeing the Gemini Shield being activated here, but I don't remember who was the person who was controlling this. So maybe Neil can illuminate us here.
Yeah, so Saga has a brother. It's primarily important in the Poseidon arc that takes place before this. But because he's Gemini, he has a twin brother. His brother Canon. So Canon basically controls this Gemini doll in an illusion labyrinth to basically stall Saga long enough that they could potentially evacuate Athena or at least have somebody else. But Saga is quite powerful, stronger than Canon. So it works for a bit, but after a while between fighting Saga attacks him from extremely far away.
Your microphone is getting messed up again.
Is it still bad? I don't know which part got cut off. Hello, is everything okay?
Yep, it's everything okay.
Okay. Did I get cut off there, or is all good?
It's all good.
Okay.
I forgot to send you the order of the fights, so maybe that can be helpful for you. I mean, my spells are in Spanish, but some names are understandable. Because, well, there were few games that, few names that were changed in Latin America, but most of them are like the same or easy to understand. But at the same time, I'm only talking about those fights also when I'm doing this, so that shouldn't be like a problem for you. Because now we're gonna be entering into the Shiryu versus Xion battle.
Yeah, so this fight takes place because Seiya and his friends basically come upon the gate of the sanctuary, and Shion, which we hadn't seen up to this point, is the previous Ares saint that Mu replaced. That's Ares Mu's master, basically. And so Shiryu attempts to basically help Mu out because Mu has a hard time attacking Shion. And so that's kind of what's happening right now.
And this is the special strat I have been talking about. And it works, as you can see. Yeah, this one was one of the first PS2 games I played when I got my console in late 2007. So it has a big nostalgic value for me. I wasn't a guy anime back in that day. The reason why I met this game was because my father and my brother used to watch the show on TV, because I need to admit that I haven't seen a lot of the series. The few things I know are based on the games, and funny enough, the show's still being broadcasted in Mexican television nowadays, so really big blame on me that I'm having the opportunity to watch this, but I haven't done it. Now, Doko versus Shion.
So, Doko is Shiryu's master. So, Shiryu gets beat up quite a bit by Shion. And what happens is, throughout the original series, you'll see that, Doko is like an old man at the top of a waterfall trained Shiryu. But this is sort of a big reveal where they reveal that Doko actually is the Libra Gold Saint, and that his powers were stored away like he was meditating the whole time to keep as much of his power as high as possible in case Hades attacks. So he de-ages and becomes godlike legendary saint who is equal in power to Shion. Which is crazy because they were the greatest saints of their generation.
That was close. But I expected I was gonna get involved into a big bang attack by Shion. But I'm surprised that nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
That was really close.
Yeah, it was crazy. The primary, a lot of games have Doko basically a clone of Shiryu. This game's not that far off from that. The only move he generally has that's different is, Rozon 100 dragons or 1000 dragons. Just projectile attack that requires a lot of dragons at home in a lot of the game.
Now we're gonna get introduced into Shaka as a playable character, and we're gonna be playing again against Shura, Camus, and Saga as a single fight. And now from this point, we're gonna be having a lot of these kind of fights. We're gonna be having a lot of different characters on our side, or the AI will have different characters instead of having individual fights. And basically the game mechanics still being the same about the kind of attacks. Unfortunately, not with all the characters we can make this kind of combo, and sometimes it can be quite tricky to keep the chain, because basically you just simply don't want that ability AI characters keep attacking. You want them keeping static and doing damage to them, but at the same time you don't want to make them fly away. You need to keep them on the same spot, which sometimes complicates a bit this kind of strategic when you're trying to play it. Unfortunately, with Shaka, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, what's happening here in the story is basically Shaka is the greatest gold saint that's ever lived. And so the logic here is that there's nobody who could beat Shaka, because Shaka is the reincarnation of Buddha. So that's why there's the palm tree in the background, or it might not be a palm tree, I forget the name exactly. But it's like a famous garden from the story of Buddha. And so Shaka is basically 1v3s these three vectors because Shaka's that powerful. They end up using Athena exclamation, which is a banned forbidden technique that Athena saints can use to basically eradicate somebody. And that's the only way they get past Shaka, is basically sacrifice vectors for Shaka's life.
And we're gonna be watching that in a bit.
But yeah, in pretty much all the games, Shaka is a very powerful character.
Yeah, but not so broken. It's powerful, but not broken. Later, we're gonna be watching a character that, based on my experience playing the game, it's the most broken from this title.
Yeah, Shaka is usually never like the best character, just like a good character.
And also, I'm surprised that fighting against Shura, I kept Shura alive because you need to have a specific amount of low health in order to make sure that once you make a big bang attack, you're gonna drain all your HP, and with that, obviously, turn into a win for you. We got Shura, we got Camus, now it's time to face Seiya. In this case, I'm not trying to do this a bit safe, and with safe I mean that I try to have a little amount of health on them, because I can also perform the big bang attacks with the enemies with more energy than the one that I'm letting them to keep. But considering my nature in this kind of games, and when I do runs of any game, sometimes I don't want to feel so comfy about me, mostly on marathons. Not that's the case. I'm gonna try to keep Saga with more health, because right now I still having that opportunity, because later on the run, and we're gonna be on the trickiest fights where the amount of health is gonna be really low. Okay, that was good. I react on time to don't reach Saga when he was performing the big one attack. There's a way to avoid that attacks, and it's if you press the R1 button, which is basically your shield to defend. But you need to do it until a specific moment. And well, when the defense sections like this take so long, I began to feel bored when I see the 5 on screen, so that's why I prefer to don't see nothing when I'm trying to mash the buttons. And now Shura Kamusaga has finished, and it's time to see, well, the next fight is gonna be Milo Ayoramu against Shura Kamusaga again. And as it was said, after this, I suppose that Shura Camus Saga are gonna be using the Forbidden Attack by Athena in order to kill Shaka, but in that way Shaka is gonna be sending a message to Athena in order to keep with the main plan that they will have in mind on a bit.
Yep. As weird as it is, the attack effectively makes Shaka stronger, because when Shaka becomes a soul, he gains 8th sense, which makes him more powerful. But he does lose his physical body. 8th sense is a plot point where you can sense like your soul, you can properly walk through the underworld.
And so I like how speedrun Tolkien you spend a lot of time skipping cutscenes and waiting for loading screens. I really love that. But seeing these game screens doesn't feel so bad, considering how long those loading screens can be for modern games. And hopefully this was from the era where updates were not a thing with titles, so I'm also glad about that.
Yeah, we're lucky we can skip them. Some games in this era didn't let you skip their cutscenes at all.
And that's another good part of it. And also, there are mods for this game where you have the Brazilian dub and also the Latin Spanish dub that basically were voice lines taken from the series. And well, on this fight, I'm gonna be able to play as Mila, Yoren Mu, but comparing the well, in this case, I will try just to keep with the first character because otherwise that's gonna mean that I'm gonna be losing a good amount of time. Because this works as any other fighting game with different teams, for like example for like the King of Fighter games. It doesn't matter how much character you have, you need to defeat the entire enemy team in order to progress. Okay, that was close. I thought that I wasn't gonna be able to reach Shura on time.
Yeah. Storyline-wise, this fight is sort of just to show that Scorpio Milo has like become much more of a hero. He was technically an antagonist before he's learned his lesson. So this is sort of redemption for him.
And this is what I was talking before.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be losing time, but I cannot perform any other attack. Otherwise, we're gonna be losing more time trying to drain Shura skeletons he respawns. Okay, let's use a different attack. Son of a... Well, last night when I was practicing, I also got a terrible lock on this fight, so I'm not surprised about what am I getting here. Okay, I got him on a good moment because he was protecting himself all the time. That was gonna be something important in order to try to perform the big man attack, because as you have seen, and every time I tried to do that, it was not a good moment as he was on defense mode. And obviously with that, you cannot perform this kind of attacks. Because as I have said before, there's a way to avoid this big man attack. You have seen the AI has been a bit troll trying to stop my attacks from that point. And also more loading screens.
So yeah, Scorpion Milo got a really good reset in this game, as you can see. Really quick, low kick. Out of the characters in this run that you run, like, which of the characters do you think is the best to play out?
I don't know exactly, because when I used to play this back in the day, we haven't go through the history mode, so our character roster was kind of limited. But I was more the guy who used to play as Seiya. But I will say that maybe, at least from my side, Canon is like the most broken character. So I will say that if you're like me that used to mess up a lot of things, play as Canon. Otherwise, any other golden character should be good.
Makes sense.
And also, you have seen AI character decided to defend themselves, but as I said before, there's a precise moment to do that in order to avoid the big bang attack. And I don't like... Okay, that was it. Because this was taking a lot of time again. And this is one of the few lucky factors. I don't know if I can say this is RNG based or not, but let's say that this is like cycle based. And these are the few kind of things that can make you lose or save time on the run. Okay, it was Saga. I haven't put attention again about who I was fighting for. And now this is where the run is gonna turn into something most complicated, because now the soldiers has health. The characters are all gonna be... Well, their Cosmos is gonna be low, if I remember correctly, it's like a 10% of its total power, which means that now all the attacks are gonna be weak, and at the same time, if I receive any kind of attack, I'm gonna be losing a big amount of health. Because here is gonna be the moment where Seiya, Shiru, Yoga, and Shun are gonna be facing Shion. And also, I think that some part of the plot is gonna explain the reason behind this.
Yeah, so basically, Mu sent Seiya and the others using Starlight Extinction special feature, which is that it can also teleport people without necessarily murdering them. They made their way up past all of the shrines after being teleported away, so that basically Shion would buy the fact that Mu actually betrayed them. And they are now, moved further up to make sure they can help. So that's kind of where they are. They're just protecting Athena as standard stuff.
And well, if I'm lucky enough, Shion is not going to attack me. But at least from my side and from all the times and all the time that I have played this is like kinda weird for me. But you have put attention about how much health I can make that the enemy loses. Now you can compare that with the Seiya attack right now, and you will see that this fight is gonna take a good amount of time due to that, since they are low in their Cosmos. So we're gonna be taking a good amount of time to complete the next fights. Plus, well, if Shion makes any attack for me, like for example in this case I made this, I wasn't able to press the button at the correct time. But now with this big bang attack, you will see that a lot of my health has been taken off. So this is why this from this point the run turns a bit complicated to perform in some small sections like this. And trying to keep this combos from sometimes can be a little problem, because I want to make 3 medium attacks and then tag one in order to keep the enemy on the same spot instead of doing a kick like I have done with Seiya. And I'm doing this again. And on this section, I really want to have as low as possible Shion's health. Okay, that's good. Now, so I don't know if my imagination is correct, but I feel that on these moments, if the AI characters want to defend themselves from big bang attacks, now it's more difficult to perform. But I just wanna believe that that's something related to my imagination.
Sorry, what's your imagination?
Sorry? What have you said?
What do you think is your imagination potentially?
Well, in this case, when I reach this point of the run, when the AI characters want to defend themselves from the big bang attacks, now it's more difficult to make them fail so you can perform the attack properly. But I want to assume that that's something related to my imagination.
Yeah, in most fighting games, the AI will get better as the run gets further, so their difficulty will increase. So it's probably that they're just getting more and more difficult, and that's the way the developers made them more difficult, is to make that happen.
Now we're gonna get Radamantis introduced on the history, and we're gonna be playing as Mu, Ayora, and Mira. And from these guys, I'm really glad that I'm gonna play as Mu, because I find that trying to keep the combo change with him, it's more easier. So I'm really happy about that order in the next fight.
Yeah, so storyline wise, basically Seiya and pals get sent to the underworld. They like even the specters sort of betray Hades here, and they actually work with Athena to help turn the tides. And so you get sent to the gates of the underworld, and you have to fight Radamanthus, who basically guards them.
Again, weak attacks, so we need to be really careful with this. And also a small visual glitch with that green screen. I don't know why does that happen, but it happens for me on this fight. Now Radamanthus is not playing nice with us.
He's blocking quite a lot.
And again, he tried to defend himself, but he wasn't able to do it on the proper moment. Now we're gonna be having again another fight against Radamanthus, but in this case, we're gonna be playing as the bronze guys. In this case, Seiya, Shiryu, Yoga, and Shun. And again, as a Seiya main player, this is good for me. But there's a good chance that maybe this is not gonna be a good fight because of my practice. I have been feeling this a little bit. So in case that I lose playing as Seiya, Shiryu will be a good backup in this case. But now we're gonna be having something different, as now Athena's blood has been used to repair their shields. So now it's supposed that their attacks are gonna be a bit more powerful, but again, we're still being low on the energy, as we have mentioned before.
Yeah, the reason Philosopher are so special in the series is because Athena's blood is one of the only things that can repair them correctly. The blood of other, like, sort of trainees and saints can kind of help restore it, but only to an extent. So when they get the power up from their cloths being restored, it does massively kind of increase their confidence, which indirectly also increases their power, as well as repairs the cloth, which gives them power all across the board. Especially important since Radamanthus is comparable to like a little over your standard gold saint, so they need all the help they can get.
It's not looking good. I'm gonna. But usually this is it. It has been a long time since this happened on one of my runs, so nice mark on block, I will say.
Yeah, greatest caution, strong move. It's unfortunate how often he used it.
俺は戦うぜ全力で戦って勝ち続けてやる
You know, one of the most broken fights. Canon against versus Radamantis. Up from this point, I don't remember the rest of the plot of the game, so I may keep quiet just to pretend that I'm getting focused on the run, just to avoid the fact that I forgot what is going on in the rest of the game. But again, I wasn't a big anime guy when I played this. I began mostly to watch anime in 2014, which is a bit weird because when I was a kid, I used to watch Doctor Slump and Mirmosibang, which, well, in Japan, I think is something like Wagamama Mirumo de Pon or something like that. I don't remember exactly that. And something curious about Mirmosibang that I'm mentioning that is that the Latin American dub is considered lost media. So, well,
Unfortunately.
Canon versus Radamantis. But again, I like how powerful this character is. It's really helpful to run.
Yeah, Canon's a very powerful character in the story. He's just short of his brother, if not better than his brother about at this point in the story. So that's pretty insane since Saga is, the final antagonist of Sanctuary arc. And he's about the only gold thing I think that could probably defeat Radamantis to make sense. I believe, technically speaking, this takes place at the bottom of the bridge, basically. So that bridge we were just fighting, you get flung off by greatest caution, which is what generally happens. You're basically down here, Makai, in the underworld. So Radamantis is still trying to make sure that the only people who are in the underworld are dead, not alive.
And I really hope that all of these characters have a good health insurance. No. This was the only fight where we're gonna be playing as Canon, and again we're gonna be back here with Seiya. But in this case, it's gonna be Seiya and Shun, and we're gonna get introduced Orpheus on this point, which is gonna be the character that we're gonna be using on the next fight after this.
Yeah, so Orpheus is a reference, of course, to the Orpheus from the story, the Greek tale of Orpheus who came down to the underworld to basically request for his wife or beloved to
she was her beloved.
Yeah, so in this world, the story is a bit different. Basically, on his way up, Pandora blinded him, which made him look back, which in fact, basically makes Pandora evil. In the original story, basically Orpheus, there's a bunch of variants, but Orpheus couldn't handle not making sure she was okay. Which was the pretext of the story is if you can take her out of the underworld without looking back to make sure she's okay, basically, and you get to the surface, then you can keep her. Otherwise, you're basically going to be trapped in the underworld with her. And in Saint Seiya, she's turned to stone. So he's working with Hades right now purely because he's still holding out that he can be brought back. Basically. Very powerful Silver Thing, basically the greatest there ever was.
And so we're getting close to the end of the run.
俺は戦うぜ全力で戦って勝ち
Yeah, it's getting good.
But now, Orpheus is gonna be facing Radamantis. And spoiler alert, the last two fights we have are gonna be versus Radamantis. And Orpheus one is one of the first of these battles. Of this fight that we're gonna be having on the run.
Yeah, I think there's supposed to be maybe like an extra enemy or two in this arc, but the game didn't have as much time to make as many characters. This would have been easier to do. But so they have Radamantis kind of fill in for all of these fights, skipping a lot of minor fights. There's a lot of other specters attacking the sanctuary as well as like Seiya's party during this section, but Radamantis is primarily a specter in this game, so they use a lot.
And also, these fights against Radamantis are really hard, no matter in which difficulty you're playing. Plus, maybe from all the characters, the one that I'm not so good playing with is gonna be Orpheus.
Yeah, he's pretty unorthodox.
Yeah, well, the hurting was fine. I'm gonna be finishing under my estimate.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't know what I posed the game. Nice counter back. That was not what I was trying to do. And this is really bad for the run. I barely gonna finish under the estimate due to this big mistake. Stop pausing the game! Okay. You want me to play like this? Okay, I'm gonna be taking out those attacks. This is what you want. This guy is such a big troll. I cannot attack him! This is really bad.
Yeah, it seems like a struggle right now.
Okay, at least I was able to escape that attack. I'm happy about it. Yeah. It's not supposed that I have this kind of problems against Radamantis on this point of the run, but when things happen, things happen. We're in a marathon, so we need to focus and to finish this. I hit the wrong button. But yeah, usually this the defense from this attack is not something easy to do. And I think that with that I have a lot to fight. Yeah, I need to do this again, so I'm gonna be running out of the estimate.
It's okay. We have time.
And what kind of luck I'm having right now? I guess I know it's time to play serious. There's gonna be like a 52 or 53 if everything was fine. Looks like I cannot keep my combo chain, so I need to use different attacks. That's gonna make me lose time, but up to this point, I don't think that there's so much I can do.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, Orpheus joins us because he's more or less convinced by Seiya that, you know, he has to fight back. He can't just, like, let himself basically fall prey to Pandora's plan.
You need to be kidding me.
That's insane.
This is really annoying. Dude, since when I have problems in this tournament? I cannot believe right now this is happening. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it.
No, Radamanthus, he doesn't want to see this run ending, you know? He wants to see more of it.
Yeah, we are close to the end of the run. But I think that we are behind of schedule, so this shouldn't be like a problem.
Yeah, we're ahead. We'll be fine.
Okay, we're ahead. I used to mess up a lot between ahead and behind, talking about timing things.
Yeah, it is kind of an odd phrase.
It's not letting me to attack him. I don't know why, but I can attack him. This is really annoying. I'm trying to remember a specific attack, but I don't recall exactly how I was able to do it. But I need to make different attacks, as this guy is not letting me to make them. To make the usual combo I used to do. But at least I'm defending myself on good moments, so that's something really good. Not as the best as I would like, but it's something.
Yeah.
But this is really terrible luck I have been getting during all the run. That's the attack I'm looking for, but I don't remember exactly how to do this. Nice. And also the order of that menu is different than the Japanese release, and in the European one. And I was looking to the skip option. I'm really glad that I found it. I can make it, I can make it! This is my moment! I'm an idiot. I should have done that, but I made it. Oh my god. And now I'm gonna die. Need to be careful. Okay. Tap for 2 attacks, just move my hand around. I told you to move around. Look. I need to be honest. The maximum time I have seen somebody being able to respawn has been up 3 times. I have never seen somebody doing that for the 4th time. Something impossible.
Yeah, it's usually capped.
Okay, now it's a good moment. I got it. I got him.
聞け
We got him.
オルフェ最後の調べを
Nice! There we go.
ストリンガーフィ
Ah, this was really bad. It was really awful. Really awful battle to deal with.
Yeah, it was a struggle, but it's over.
Finally. But at which coast? At which coast? That's...
Yeah, exactly.
この戦いは子守歌眠れ
And now, last fight of the game. Hopefully, I'm gonna be able to finish this. And I'm not gonna need to repeat the fight. Because, as I mentioned before, I'm not so good playing as Orpheus, but I'm better playing as Seiya, so I have something on my side.
オルフェ
Sure. And this is the final fight, right?
Yep, the final fight. The time is gonna finish once of the announcer has says you win.
Gotcha. So from Orpheus failing basically in the storyline, it gives Seiya enough Cosmo willpower to basically fight back against Radamanthus to take him out once and for all.
Now the final fight from Caballeros del Zodiaco. I still can't believe I can get a perfect, but let's try to do something nice. Nice!
Yeah.
It's good, it's good, it's good. We're still fine, we get it. We can get this, we can get this. Okay. Come here, dude. Good, it's good, it's good, it's good. I cannot believe this is happening. If I'm honest with everybody. Let's go, let's go.
Alright, so it's on the victory or win method.
I was trying to do this attack specifically because this is my favorite one.
Rolling craft.
Oh. Time is gonna finish and announcer says you win. Wanna finish is saying you win. And time.
Alright. Amazing.
Yeah, definitely, these were terrible fights and different extensions of them.
If you want to do any call outs or anything, feel free to.
Okay, first of all, shoutouts to Ryan Freyad or JD, who is going to be the Sanctuary runner, who helped me a bit with some information about the game. So keep tuning with this amazing Sensei mini block. He's a pretty good runner, so definitely the next run is also going to be something nice to enjoy. But before that, the last part of the plot, which is a big plot twist. I don't know if you want to explain that.
The plot twist is that, technically speaking, Andromeda Shun is the vessel for Hades' resurrection. So, your best friend, actually, like, pure-hearted soul who, and that's the best person apparently to become the next vessel for Hades.
And this is where the Hades chapter finishes. So, continuing with the special shoutouts, well, in this case, I'm glad that this event is having different restreams. So, first of all, muito obrigado pelo comentário em português, Rootson Street, and Santini. Muito obrigado. I appreciate a lot the support from Brazilian and Portuguese community for this, and also if my basic Japanese level doesn't fail me here, I'm gonna be able to pronounce this properly. So if I remember correctly, this is Nihongo no komentari mo arigatou gozaimasu. Ao to Maya, arigatou gozaimasu. I studied Japanese for a few years, but I have been forgetting a lot of the stuff that I know. Muchas gracias a todos. Thanks to everybody. Domo arigato. And well, I would have liked to prepare different games for this marathon, but this is what I was running out of time, so this was something I was trying to prepare on the fly. So I hope that on future editions of this event, I can bring different games. I'm looking to learn both PS3 and PS4 Saint Seiya games, and maybe have a longer block from the series. So now it's time to enjoy the Sanctuary, which along with the Hades are the only two Saint Seiya games that were released on the PS2, and also the first 3D titles released on the franchise. So thanks for the staff for giving me the opportunity of being showcased here, and well, keep enjoying the show, keep enjoying the marathon. We're still having a good amount of runs, and also remember that we're donating for a good cause.